Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that last season I wasn't excited about the Bulls at some point. I certainly was. I was enjoying the fact that they had gotten off to a good start. You know, DeMar DeRozan was brought in with the sign and trade with San Antonio, and he was having a career year. The Bulls at one point had the best record in the Eastern Conference. And my whole thing was, that's cool, but this is not a championship contending team. It's nice to see them playing good basketball, but they're not playing great basketball that will translate in April, May, and June in the playoffs when it matters most. And if you're at this point, you have to recognize the spot you're in and go all in. Because sitting and thinking that with the construction of that roster, you were ultimately going to be anything other than a 4 through 6 seed was absolutely psychotic, delusional behavior. And lo and behold, what do you fucking know? You got a little bit of injuries mixed in there as well, which is inevitable, especially for some of the players that the Bulls have on their roster. And they ended up finishing with the 6th seed and took an early first-round exit in the playoffs against the Milwaukee Bucks. And you could say it's a good thing that the Bulls didn't go crazy trying to go all in to contend, but it speaks to a larger philosophical problem with this organization and with this current roster. Because it's, to me, astounding the mindset of Garpax here. Oh, excuse me, I mean Hackby. You could have fooled me. What the fuck's the difference at this point? To look at this roster and say, yeah, that's the team that we want to have. Let's run that shit back with a 6-seeded Eastern Conference team. And Goran Dragic and Andre Drummond, a couple of nice role players, but just that at this point, role players, they're going to be the ones that put this team over the hot hump. These are the difference makers. And then looking at that and saying, man, you know what? For no reason at all, with no motivation to have to do it other than being fucking idiots, let's go ahead and give Billy Donovan a contract extension and then wait for it to actually come out during the next regular season because we know deep down that this was stupid and we're ashamed of doing it, but we did it because we're morons. And then just think about the genius of looking at Zach LaVine and say, yeah, that's the guy I want to pay $40+ million to over the next several years because he's a key championship team cog. Like the whole philosophical approach for the Chicago Bulls, the organization, and the construction of this roster is stupid. When you're already mediocre, you build a mediocre core. And you're going to say, DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine and Nikola Vucevic aren't a mediocre core. I'd say 6 seed in the playoffs last year, bitches. 11-17 record this year, bitches. Yes, the fuck they are. You're at a point now where you're as close to the number 1 overall pick or the worst record in the league as you are the 6th seed in the playoffs in the Eastern Conference. And you got people trying to dilute themselves, including the Bulls, I think, say, well, Lonzo Ball return, it'll be so much different. And what? You go on a run and you're the 6th seed again? What's wrong with you? I mean, imagine thinking that this roster just needs Lonzo Ball to come back from injury. And then maybe they get some type of power forward with some physicality that can defend and rebound. And the Bulls will be a contender. What fucking opium are you smoking? I thought opium addiction was already a problem in this country, but apparently it's pervasive through the Bulls fan bases. This is the type of idiotic fucking thought that people are having. Let's get back Lonzo Ball and find a power forward, and this team will be a contender. What? Knock, knock. Who's there? Reality. Reality who? Reality asking, what the fuck you're talking about that to? It's time to come to grips with reality. Arturas Karnisovas and Mark Eversley built a stupid roster, and it's time to start over. You built around 2 wings that are crappy defenders. Don't try to excuse or justify it. DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine are half-interested defenders. Maybe once in a while they'll give you some decent defensive effort, but other times they absolutely suck. Meanwhile, DeMar DeRozan's 33 with 1 more year in his contract. You really think he's going to get any better at this point? You really think he's going to be better in his career year last year? Vucevic is 32 and an impending free agent. LaVine is 28 in March. You just idiotically gave him max money. And oh, by the way, he's got a bulky knee. Lonzo Ball, sure, he's only 25, but he's got the knee of a 50-year-old. And in 6 seasons, not including this one because he hasn't even suited up yet, so technically in 7 NBA seasons, 6 plus now if you want to get technical, he's played a grand total of 252 damn games in the regular season. 252! He's basically averaging half a season per season. And he's still got a guaranteed year in his contract after this one, plus a player option, which if shit continued, he certainly would exercise it at this damn point. You built this core around 3 guys, none of whom are true championship alphas, none of whom are great high-level defenders, none of them are that true alpha dog scorer, go get me buckets in big-time moments. You could think DeRozan is that guy. He is not. Maybe at points during the regular season he can be, but not consistently. You don't look at him and say he's the same level as a fucking Giannis or something like that. And if you're saying, well, it's not like a Giannis grows on fucking trees. No, you know what? It's the Chicago Bulls. You're supposed to have a fucking alpha like that. Even Derrick Rose is a fucking alpha. Set the standards higher. This front office did an idiotic job building around a stupid core of a bunch of number 2 and number 3 options, and then is surprised when they underwhelm and they underperform. Led by a head coach who, compared to Jim Boylan, might be great, but that ain't saying shit. Who has a history of teams underperforming during his time in Oklahoma City. Never forget the 3-1 lead they had on that 73-win Warriors team in the Western Conference Finals. They got Donovan. You built a core around 3 alphas, none of whom are true alphas, and a guy with a 50-year-old knee, who's on the injury list literally as much as he is on the court during his NBA career. You're running a bunch of 3 and 4 guard lineups. You're trying to play Western Conference ball without the horses to do it in the Eastern Conference where you actually need to have some size. And when it comes down to the reality of the NBA today, you're either a contender, building towards being one, or you should suck. The absolute worst place to be, which is the place that any Jerry Reinsdorf-owned team loves to live, is in that turmoil of cycle of suck in the middle. That mediocre-ass middle. That's the worst place to be. And that's where the Bulls are. They are stuck in the middle. They have no real upside to get better. Oh, Patrick Williams. Oh, Mr. fucking 999. I'm going to start calling him. He's like... His points per game average is like Herman Cain's fucking tax plan back in the day. 999. Give me a fucking break. Oh, Kobe White. What about him? He sucks. Get over it. Well, what about Lauri Markkanen? You got rid of him, and then he was really good. You know, the difference was that Lauri Markkanen from game 1 had a little bit of dog in him. His problem was he couldn't stay healthy. But he could always fucking score. Comparing Kobe or Patrick Williams to Lauri is stupid. As far as Wendell Carter, don't even get me started there. Now, he needed to go from a Bulls standpoint, yes, but you also think about it and say, hey, would you rather have Wendell Carter Jr., fucking Franz Wagner, and this year's upcoming first-round pick, or would you rather have Nikola Vucevic? Not a hard fucking answer, is it? It is time to blow shit up. It is time for the Bears to bring this fucking roster down to the studs. Rebuild, tear this shit down. It is over. Trade DeMar DeRozan and Nikola Vucevic to the Lakers. Even if it means I gotta sit there and suffer through watching a couple of months of Russell Westbrook being a fucking idiot in a goddamn Bulls uniform, then so be it. He's got an expiring contract. Good deal. You get like Lonnie Walker in there to make the cap numbers work. And then look to get some future first-round picks out of the Lakers. You have to live with the fact of like, hey, you get a 2028 or 2030, first-round pick from the Lakers. You know, Lakers actually as an organization give a shit about winning. And players actually want to go to play in a place like Los Angeles. So every couple of years they can retool pretty quickly. You got to take that chance, but you got to get something. Why sit there and sit on DeMar DeRozan? You're not fucking winning anything with him. You're not. You're not winning anything with Vucevic. And giving him a contract extension would be the stupid doing the stupid. Try and find a sucker like the Sacramento Kings. Take Zach LaVine and Andre Drummond. Get back like Harrison Barnes and Kevin Huerter and Richaun Holmes. And you're going to say, what about Harrison Barnes? Expiring contract. Kevin Huerter's contract's pretty reasonable. Holmes, he's not much as a big man, but he's somebody, and Christ's sakes, his contract isn't that bad, and it's always something you could trade off later if you needed to. And you could get some additional draft pick capital from them, probably a couple of first-round picks. Like the Kings a few years ago as an organization were interested in signing Zach LaVine. Now let's see if they're interested in trading for Zach LaVine. Put him out there with Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox and fucking Keegan Murray. Let them have him. You really want to tie yourself to LaVine for the next 2 years as a star guy? Fuck that. Send Goran Dragic off to somebody like the Nuggets or somebody, and you can get some second-round picks back for him. Kobe White, send him to somebody like the Sixers or somebody. Get a second-round pick or two back for him. Lonzo Ball, hey, go knocking on the San Antonio Spurs door and say, hey, you give us back our 2025 first-round pick, you can have Lonzo Ball. Probably won't happen. Take a couple second-round picks and keep it fucking moving. Let the Spurs pay him $20+ million the next couple of years. Find a place where you can trade Alex Caruso, maybe generate a bidding war, and somebody's going to give you a future first-round pick in 2023 or 2024 for a valuable role player like Caruso. Yes, it would suck to lose him, but you're not winning anything with him. And then you've cleared the way, brought in some other pieces, and then you've given Patrick Williams an opportunity to show what he could do to trick somebody else in the offseason to fucking trading for him, because he ain't that type of dude either. A lot of y'all don't want to trade a guy like Patrick Williams, do the things that are necessary to try and actually build a contender right now in Chicago, which includes trading Wade Vucevic, which includes trading LaVine, which includes trading Patrick Williams. Y'all don't want to fucking do that. Well, the fucking championship isn't going to just sprout out of the fucking ass at the Berto Center. You got to tear this shit down. And you see some recent reports talking about the Bulls front office isn't interested in doing that. Then what the fuck are you doing? You could have kept Garb Pax if this is what the hell you were going to do. New packaging, same shitty result. Oh, it's over for the Bulls. They suck. The construction of this team was stupid. It's time to acknowledge that, and it's time to move the hell on and start over. This Bulls team is as close almost to the worst record in the league as they are the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference. You deal off all these pieces, you get a chance to where you can get the Wembanyama sweepstakes, you have to fucking do that. If for no other reason, you could keep that pick that you would trade as part of the Vucevic deal to Orlando because it's top 4 protected. That's what you gotta do. And every day the Bulls don't do that, they are just disconnected from and delaying their inevitable reality. And you stick to a mediocre group for too long, you're even gonna lose the return of value that you could get from trading these guys. The time to strike, the iron is hot, do it now! Don't fucking around and wait in a few months and then some of these guys get hurt and then you're really up shit creek without a paddle. Blow it up, Bulls! You built a stupid roster. It's time to go back to the drawing board.